Welcome to this episode. I'm painting in the Kungsträgården in central Stockholm. So if you'd like to see how this painting was put together, stay tuned and I'll show you. Hi, I'm David and I paint watercolors. I just love being outdoors and I hope these videos inspire you to do the same. So subscribe and welcome. Yeah, in this episode I'm in Kungsträgården, which is the King's Garden in central Stockholm. It's a beautiful summer's day, and I cycled into town on my bike, and I decided I would like to paint that fountain. So I got on with it, and here I've just kind of speeded up the film a little bit just to show you how I sketched the scene. And I've decided that the fountain is the main focus, you could say, and then I have some people at the bottom of the fountain. And you could say this composition is kind of an L-shaped composition. So I start painting. It's the first wash, so it has to be light and translucent. And I'm using Verditer blue here. It's my favorite color for skies. And I'm keeping it very light because I'm going to be putting the willow trees in the midground, and I want light to come through. Now I'm doing the foliage of the willow trees, and I use yellow here because basically the background is still wet and it's blue pigment. And so when it mixes with the yellow, it turns kind of a pale green. So I use that to my advantage. This is the first wash, so I have everything kind of, I want things to blend on the paper because it makes it kind of atmospheric and hazy and nice. So here I'm starting on the foreground. Alizarin crimson and a bit of yellow ochre. There's my first wash with the fountain. Again, I don't want it to be crisp totally, so it's still a bit of wet on wet there. So there'll be a certain amount of fuzziness, but I'm using a very light amount of pigment at the moment. I had to think a lot of how I was going to render the background. There's buildings there in the background, and I chose to just over-exaggerate the cool colors so that it would disappear into the background, and that was going to be rather abstract. So now I'm trying to define the trunk and branches of the tree. I have to be careful here because I haven't used any masking fluid. I don't use masking fluid. I used to, but I don't like it, basically. And now I'm trying to put in willow tree foliage, and I've never done it before, and I'm finding my way. And these travel brushes I have with me on this day aren't very good at doing foliage, so it's a bit clumsy there. But this is the way. This is, sketching is this is what sketching is all about, isn't it? Trial and error, learning, making mistakes, and hopefully learning from the mistakes. Anyway, so I got out my trusty little penknife, and I use this quite often to create highlights instead of using white gouache or whatever. And I scratch at the surface, not too hard because you don't want to rip it, but you have to have good quality paper. In this case I have Saunders Waterford 300 gram fine grain. And you can tolerate me scratching at it like this. It was a beautiful day. So I continue playing around here. It really is playing around. This is the fun part. Well, the whole painting's fun, really. I really enjoy this painting. Because the subject's actually quite complicated, and so it's kind of like you're decoding what you see in front of you to simplify it so that you can get it down on paper. Anyway, here I am putting in some darks for the branches. They're in shadow, so I've exaggerated it a little bit so it stands out from the background. I'm spending a lot of time here thinking of my, before I put down a stroke, I'm thinking about, several steps ahead. And here I'm starting to do the second layer on the fountain, and I'm using a nice dark, very dark green, almost black, and I'm just blocking it in and exaggerating. Well, not actually. When you can see the photograph there, you can see that it is very dark. My hand's in the way, sorry about that. But anyway, you see that with simple strokes, just trying to create the form I see in front of me. I'm not trying to be photographic about this. I'm just basically trying to create an impression. So I'm working my way down. And you could say I'm trying my hand at sculpting. Sculpting? Yeah, sculpting. You can see here I'm trying to create the relief of the carvings on the base of the fountain. It's great fun. Trying to create a three-dimensional form out of on 2D paper. So now I want to be very careful here and paint around the two figures because they're quite important for the general composition. Again, I'm not using masking fluid, so I just have to be careful. take my time. And what's the rush? It's a beautiful day. And now it's time for a little bit of fencing. While the fence is still a little bit wet, damp, I'm putting in some darks there just to kind of make it uneven, because evenness is not sexy. That's the way it is. You need to make things irregular to be interesting. And here I'm starting to do the edge of the fountain, and it's kind of like a stepped seat around the fountain, and I'm being very careful here because I want to create highlights to suggest the steps. Yeah, so I just continue working my way down. These smaller paintings are kind of fiddly. That's just the way it is. And the larger paintings, I can be a bit more, what's the word? Swashbuckling. Oh, there you go. Bit more, expressive with my strokes. Oh, here I've speeded everything up. I was falling asleep there. I hope you guys weren't. So yeah, just darkening everything. And I felt that it needed to be darkened because it just wasn't feeling right. It's not optimal. I would prefer not to use a second wash there, but I had no choice. Then I put in this exciting red or Alizarin crimson to exaggerate the warmth in the foreground, and I'm actually quite happy with it. I've just turned the painting upside down here, and I'm splashing on trying to create the feeling of willow tree leaves. Not easy. So I'm experimenting here, just playing around, trying to create an impression of the willow tree. And as I've never done it before, I'm doing good moves and bad moves. And here I just want to create, with a negative space, the shape of the fountain. It's an interesting turquoise green there. Why not? Here I'll speed it up again. I'm doing more darks. It's so you can see it's all starting to come together now. I think I've gone as far as I can. The light is fading. I'm almost 100% happy with it. There is a little area that I wanted to improve, but this is enough for the afternoon. I'm very happy with that. So it's time to take it home and do the final corrections, and then I'll be happy. Okay, so once I got it home, I taped it up again, and I had some time to think about what I wanted to do. And basically, it's the top right corner where I'm spraying there. I think it's too fussy and it's taking away the focus from the fountain to the left. And so I'm going to try and get as much of that dark, those squiggly bits and branches and things from the top corner there. And I just want to simplify it. So using broad strokes, simple strokes, I just want to kind of flatten that area out. Okay, so flattened it out, and I think it's working a lot better now. The focus goes over to the left. So all that's left to do is do my little signature. Yeah, there you go. I'm happy. Pretty happy. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give the video a like. That helps me a lot. And subscribe if you want to see future episodes. Okay, cheers. See you in the next episode. And if you want to sponsor the making of these videos, you can by going into my Patreon account. The link is down below in the description. A small donation each month goes a long way to helping me. Thank you.